This episode of Is This Adulting is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We want to say a big thanks to new Patreon supporters Toby P, Candace E, Jen H, and Britt T. Thank you so much for your support. You're really helping keep the lights on here at Is This Adulting. If you would like to support us and get some awesome bonus content in the process, Mad Libs, coloring sheets, bonus episodes, really just all you could imagine, check us out on patreon.com/isthisadulting. Thanks.
Hi, this is your best friend Renee, soon to be from Florida, and you're listening to Is This Adulting?
Hey everybody, and welcome to Is This Adulting, the mental health comedy podcast you never knew you needed. I'm your best friend, and I've got mail. I'm Stephen Pappas.
Was that a Tom Hanks reference?
No,
I think it was an AOL reference. Ooh, here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail when it comes. I want to wail. Mail.
I like how we somehow took three separate references from the same "you got mail" thing. All right, well, okay. I guess I'm just gonna be Chris today. I'm best friend number 2.
Can I be best friend number 3?
Please.
Yes.
All right.
You can.
I go. You go. You go. You introduce me like I'm royalty.
Okay, I will. I need like a horn. Like that I can like blow upon
and a jester and yeah, all that.
Chris, do me a like stately courtroom, not courtroom, as though you were entering the king's court. Give me like a stately like blow that horn for me.
Well, I can't. Can I do like a hear ye instead?
That's good for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Hear ye, all of you peasants, shut up in the back. Listen to the person talking now. Good,
That's me.
BRB. I'll be back. Sorry,
That's his first day.
Chris the town crier. All right, well, just like every week, we couldn't do it alone. We've got another best friend with us this week. So they are a ghost enthusiast. They made the actual Infinity Gauntlet, and they're the other half of the podcast, and that's why we drink. Please welcome Em Schulz to the show. Hey, Em.
Hello. That is the best introduction I've ever gotten. So thank you.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
I've never had a town crier, but one day
There
when
we
I'm
go.
big and famous, I'll hire one. So.
They used to call me the town crier, but I was just really emotional.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a fun time though. That was a good one.
It is. In the South, if there's a man and he's emotional, usually you get that kind of ridicule. So,
Well, actually, did you know there was a job back before alarm clocks called a knocker up, whose whole job was to be able to go, like, you could reserve, like, I need you to come knock on my window at 5 a.m. And they would wake up early and walk around town with a giant stick and knock on people's second floor
Interesting.
windows. But also, how did they know what time it was? I guess they had to watch it. But how did they wake up? How, like, what alarm did they have is my question.
rooster.
Like, a knocker up needs its own knocker up, I think.
Knocker up is the filthiest sounding thing I've ever.
They were a knocker up. Let's just say they never went to sleep.
Oh.
Good one, sir. Sorry.
I didn't choose the name. Anyway, glad that wasn't part of my title, although I definitely added it onto my own introduction. Whoops.
It's okay. I may have stretched the truth and told everyone that you physically yourself made the Infinity Gauntlet. So
Well, I was involved in that. I got to the time stone, the green one on it. That was, we have a purchasing department, and we actually, it's their whole job is to just go buy everything that we need. And they were searching online, and I helped them find the green fake rock that we used to end up chiseled down to make the time stone. So technically you're not wrong. Although I will say I am entirely responsible for the Eggo boxes on Stranger Things.
wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you what is happening right now? I'm obsessed with Stranger Things.
Oh.
Specifically 11 and like that
He
character.
is. Yes.
Well, good. I made all of the Eggo boxes.
All I want
Whoa.
in life, there's a Funko Pop vinyl of her that has her holding the little Eggo box. Mm-hmm. All I want in life is one of those to add to my collection. And then, oh my God, and then I can look at it and go,
You're pandering right now.
Em made the...
You're wanting someone to get you one so badly.
Oh, no. I can, though. Hey, y'all. It's
Yeah, there we go.
No, I have them behind me, and I thought about it, and I was like, I can look at it and just always think, Em made the real version of that.
Yep, it was all inspired by me. So.
Eggo waffles, inspired by Em, part of this balanced
Yes.
breakfast. Oh goodness, it was never a balanced breakfast. Can we talk about that?
No, it was, and also one thing I was always confused by. Let's just skip from Eggos right into cereal because that was the majority of the breakfast commercials I
Sure.
saw. But I always saw commercials where there was a glass of orange juice and a glass of milk, and I always thought people just had multiple options to drink. I feel like now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe it's like one of those glitches in the Matrix and maybe no one else ever caught on to those commercials.
No, I did.
I feel like I always saw two different options. And also that doesn't make sense because apparently if you drink milk and orange juice next to each other, the acid in the juice mixes with the lard in the milk and they curdle and make you sick. So really you shouldn't be drinking them together to begin with. But those are the only two glasses they ever offered.
That's just a lot of beverage in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with like one glass of something, but two and completely different flavor profiles? Goodness.
But
Yes.
to be fair, Chris, you don't like drinks. Like, you're not very into like the idea of drinking things.
Well, yeah, and let me be clear, that's not
You must have
alcohol
a dry
drinks.
mouth.
That's just all drinks. That's for the most part. I have on a regular basis had full meals without drinking anything.
That's
You're a monster.
bizarre to me because the
I
drink
don't know
after I don't drink anything when I'm eating, but then afterwards I like guzzle a whole drink, like to wash it all
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I'm like a camel. I just in every possible
Wild.
lump of my body, I just got water going in there. Yep, that was weird. Sorry.
That's no, I didn't even think it was weird for a second.
Good.
For like what about like pizza? Like here's the thing. I can usually get away without drinking something if I don't have to, but when it comes to something really greasy, I need to drink something to like wash away the filth that I
And
just
to me,
caused.
it can't be
quick
water.
Quick game. Let's name things, and I'll tell you if I can eat it without anything to drink.
Pizza.
Of
Greasy
course.
pizza.
All the time.
Cake.
Well,
don't
that's-
eat cake.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
unfair because I don't eat cake.
What about
so,
like brownies? You eat brownies and don't drink milk with it?
all the time?
That is
All
a
right.
sin.
How can you eat the Chris Grimmett special, which is macaroni and cheese and peas and mashed potatoes all mixed into just
Okay,
one big slop?
No, that's not completely accurate. That,
Um,
no, I like mashed potatoes and peas as a mixture, and I
And
like
corn.
macaroni and cheese with peas as a mixture, but not all three together.
oh no, I've seen you put all sorts of things together.
I mean,
Anyway,
sure, I
hi.
have, but doesn't mean.
I
Yeah, of course, that's very
have
creamy.
never
I can
had that
do that with a
combination.
beverage.
I will say I grew up with mac and cheese and broccoli, so I guess the pea thing isn't too gross.
I'm going to make a bold assumption. You didn't grow up in the South, did you?
No, I did. I grew up in Virginia.
Wow, then you had a much healthier family than I did.
Well, I grew up. Well, here's the thing.
Broccoli
grew up,
was punishment for us.
Well, I grew up in Virginia, but I was raised by New Yorkers. So
Yep.
I was
there we go.
raised. I was surrounded culturally by Southern things, but within my home, it was very Northern.
Yep. Yeah,
So
yeah.
So
you're
I'm
from the South,
yes.
and we're gonna let you plug yourself in like 2 seconds because we have gotten off
Well,
because I can just talk forever. But hey,
yeah,
so you're from the South. We've
I
talked
am.
about this with another one of our guests. Do you know what cookout is?
yeah, I fucking know what cookout is. It's the
Oh
best
my
place on
God.
earth.
You're a beautiful human, and I love you.
We just did. We just had a live show in Nashville. We're in CrimeCon. I took full advantage of being back near cookouts, and I had my very typical. Because I went to cookout. It was right across the street from me when I went to college. I went to school right on the North Carolina Virginia border,
Nice.
and
Cool.
you basically there was a cookout right across from us. And for people who don't know, you get a tray of
Yes.
several things. They're called one entree and two sides, but it's really three entrees. Where like for sides
Yes.
you can have like a chicken burrito or nuggets or it. So I would always get a bacon cheeseburger with one side of hush puppies and one side of chicken nuggets, and I would
Oh,
get
yeah.
either the chocolate cobbler shake, which is just a chocolate milkshake with vanilla wafers in it, or I would get a Cheerwine Coke float. But they don't have Cheerwine anymore out here in LA, so that's a delicacy now.
Cheerwine is
love
very
Cheerwine.
popular soda in the South, specifically North and South Carolina. I'm one of the few people that do not like it,
We also don't like
Taste-
drinking anything, so
That is fair. I do think it tastes like cough syrup, but
You're a monster.
but cherry cough syrup. So I'm not saying cherry cough syrup is bad. I just don't want a bunch of carbonated versions of it.
yeah,
That's fair.
Cookout's the only place, and I will wrap it with this. It's the only place that I used to have a meal that I would get almost every time that my friends called like the chicken death. And it's because I would get a strip tray with a side of chicken nuggets and a side of Cajun chicken wrap. And then I would just get my milkshake as my drink, and it was
chicken in
always
Well, the chicken nuggets there are heavenly. And then also the other thing I really miss is Bojangles. That was some good fried
Oh, yeah.
chicken, and I don't get
We've
that
talked
out here.
about that before.
Yep.
we're gonna have to we'll ship
times.
you some.
Oh,
We said
thank
that
you.
to our last guest we talked about, and we never did. So
Also, that
Oh.
wouldn't carry well. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Valid.
you never know. But we're gonna get into everything.
Oh, I know.
In just a
It would be
second.
good.
Christopher, don't interrupt me when I'm
Sorry.
talking.
I'm sorry.
Grown-ups are talking.
Okay.
I learned to be quiet, Chris. I stopped.
I
talking.
definitely did not.
I can't take him anywhere. Anyway, we're going to get into everything in just a second. But hey, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs and or your home address?
I can tell you I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia, although I'm never there anymore. So if you're trying to find me, don't go there.
Good luck.
Let me see. Where can you find me? On the interweb, I am found on all listening avenues for And That's Why We Drink podcast. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at either ATWWD podcast or my personal, which is the Em Schulz. And we have our website, and that's why we drink.com. We have a store. We got tour dates out there and all that good stuff.
Pro. I'm excited. I'm going to come and see you in Washington. I think I've decided. My wife thinks I'm crazy that I'm going to drive 6 hours for like one night to go see a show, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we have two. So currently, we just did our last West Coast show for a while, as far as we know. Last night, actually, we had our last show in LA. And then we have two in DC. And then we've got a couple more coming out that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about yet. Oh, we've got two in August in Nashville again.
Cool.
So those four have tickets that are out right now, which you can find on our website.
Just give me a non-verbal signal. Are any of these places Charlotte, North Carolina?
No, they're not. I'm sorry.
All right, cool. I'll make it to DC then. All right, well, we're going to jump into housekeeping real quick.
Let's go.
And we're going to move on to the mental health check-in. So we have like 60,000 thank yous to say this week, but I'm just going to sum it up by saying thank you to all the new people. So I want to say thank you first off to Christine from last week for the lovely kind words that the two of you had to say on your show about us. And I got all like verklempt.
Oh, you got butterflies?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. That's those new friends. I got so pumped. So thank you for that. And I want to say thanks to all the new patrons and all the new people in the best friends group that have come over, specifically from And That's Why We Drink, who've popped over and said, hey, we found you through And That's Why We Drink, and now we're on board. And that's been awesome. So thank you to them. We're very glad to have you. And with all that being said, we're going to start this week off just like we do every week with a mental health check-in. So, hey, Christopher, how you doing this week?
I've been better. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
You've been better than last week, or you've been better?
Yeah, I realized that kind of was misleading. I've actually been better.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's amazing how much just slightly saying something different can be very different meanings.
Right.
I've been okay. I've still had my ups and downs of kind of moments of just severe stress and not, but something I mentioned last week was I went back to the doctor. I have more recently been having extra stress because of just some work stuff and some other things going on. And because of all that, I realized I just needed to probably up my medicine because I was trying to do other things to help, and it just still didn't seem to be working that effectively. And so I have, I guess, how does it go again? Meds adjustment, or however we do it.
Meds adjustment.
Yeah, you do it better than I do. But since I've been doing that, now part of it is because they've given me a couple things to be able to help when I'm like more of like an immediate type of help. But I've been really grateful for it. I feel, it's not solving it by any means, but it's it's definitely reduced it to some degree, which has been really, really nice. And I've just been really grateful lately. I've been finding myself around some people that, it's just really nice to talk to people who are very calming and who are easy to connect with, and you don't have to feel like you're overly trying. And I've just been really grateful for some of those relationships in my life lately, for just being able to do that, because I think that's been a lot of things that's been able to help. So surprisingly, I can say I'm always nervous to say this, because whenever I say I've had a pretty good week, the next week is just complete shit. So I almost want to like knock on wood right now, but I'm at least encouraged. It seems the medicine has helped me a little bit. So yeah, Em, how about you? How have you been?
I've been better.
The other way?
Well, so this, and I mean, in a very, it's like there's silver linings all over, where this weekend specifically, I had to do a lot of traveling in quite a time crunch, and I had to leave work. I have my day job, and so I've had to take a lot of days off there just because of the podcast, and I'm traveling a lot, which is great. So I don't want to come off like I'm ungrateful, but it's takes a mental toll on, either jet lag, or I'm missing out on like hanging out with my girlfriend, or catching up on some other, just household things I need to do. Yeah. Or, but so I went to New York this weekend for a wedding, and I had connecting flights both ways, and all 4 of them got canceled, and I had to, in a crunch, and then I had a live show that I was doing on Sunday, so I needed all of my planes to go accordingly so that I could get here on time for the show. So it was just a very stress-inducing time, and then on top of that, I was just, because of all the jet lag and then having to go wake up today for my day job, I'm just a little sleep deprived, so it's messing with my head a bit, and I think I'm kind of just catching a cold from the travel, and so it's mentally and physically, I think I've been better. I'm just getting a little wore out. So, But that being said, I'm so grateful that I get to do this. So I'm taking the cards I'm dealt with. So I'm happy to do it. It's just after the fact, it's like, wow, I really wish I could just take another vacation from my vacation.
Well, we hope that you get some rest, because that sounds exhausting. I can't believe all your flights were canceled. That's insane.
What are the odds that 4 planes all decided to just stop their one job?
Gosh.
So, but no, I plan on crashing tonight pretty hard, so I'm actually very excited about today. I woke up knowing I was going to have a really good sleep. So
that is actually really nice. Sometimes that's the most encouraging thing you can have, when you know that you've not been getting sleep. You can at least look forward to the future. That's really good.
Yeah, or it's like on Friday night, sometimes you're not really excited that it's going to be Friday night. It's like, oh, it's just the end of the week, and I can just escape for 5 minutes. So
Yep.
Yeah,
well, Steven, how have you been, man?
Hey, I've been better. No, I'm not gonna. Who knows what? I would have to be some weird third option for it. I'm fine. A lot better than last week. For those of you that listened to last week, it got a little dark. Had a really rough week last week, and went to my psychiatrist. There was discussion of possible meds adjustments. But luckily, not luckily, but I'm trying to deal with this without making another adjustment, because I just hate adjusting. And so I'm going to attempt to go to my therapist more often and see if that works. And then if not, we'll have to talk med shifts. So I'm going to my therapist tomorrow, and I'm excited to get back in there. That's my first time in therapy in 2 months. And so I definitely need to sit down with my therapist and talk about everything and how I've been. And so things are good, but I have been good. Like, overall, this has not been a bad week.
It's Monday, so.
That's true. Well, since last Monday when we recorded, though.
Right, I hear you.
It's not been bad. I've been grateful to have a week that kind of went a little easier on me. And so yeah, I guess overall, pretty good week. So I'm okay with the improvement. It was much needed after last week.
And I'm glad that it's been a better week because I know we talked some, when we're recording yesterday, which is an especially difficult day for you. And so I'm glad to know that that in the midst of it being Father's Day, that you were able to still consider this a week. Not necessarily a win, but like a positive, a net positive, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just, I mean, to be honest, I just kind of didn't deal with it much for the second year in a row. This year, I acknowledged it more so than I did last year, but it's still, with it only being the second Father's Day. I'm still not ready to just be like, oh yeah, it was great, it's fine, everything is just another day. Like,
yeah. Well, I also I wouldn't think it's, that's absolutely valid though. I don't think anyone would expect anyone to be fine only 2 years later, Yeah.
Right. And who knows
if ever.
If
ever. Yeah.
That's the thing, is I don't think the hurt never goes away. You just learn to live with it, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but I would call it a win. So that is good, and I've been encouraged by that. So, as always, if you have a mental health check-in you'd like to share, an idea of how we can encourage you throughout the week, we will remind you we're not professionals, but you can send us an email at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com, or more importantly, you can join the Best Friends group on Facebook. It is a support group and just a discussion group for the show. It's a lot of fun in there. There's a lot of fun gifts, but there's also, people who really need to talk, who they have listening ears now, and there's always somebody awake in there. So it's an awesome spot. Definitely check it out.
I'm gonna step in and say that I think it's awesome that you guys have built a little community and just like everyone's there for each other, and it's wild what some of these shows do, where people just come together and make their own friend groups, and it's great to see what you guys are doing. So
thank you. It is wild. I always, whenever people thank me for it, I always tell them I didn't build the place. I didn't build that community. Right. I just gave them a place to come, and then we did that, and we facilitated, and they made it what it is. And it is amazing in there. I know people have made best friends in there. Literally, we call it the best friends, but people have made best friends in there, and it's really, really cool to see. So yeah, community is a good thing. All right.
The
end. That is the end all be all statement on community. This is gonna be
welcome back from Snotmageddon.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that in.
Sure.
So, Snotmageddon has happened, and with that, we're going to move into our first topic. So this week, our first topic comes from Em.
Yes.
And I'm super excited about this one. So when you texted me and you were like, hey, these are kind of the things I've been thinking about, I was like, okay, that one. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the one. I was a little intimidated at first because you were like, oh, you get to pick the topic. And I was like, oh, shit. Because then I was like, I will admittedly say before I met you, I hadn't listened to the show. But once I met you at CrimeCon, I started listening. But, when you first said, oh, you get to pick a topic, I was like, oh, boy, I've only listened to a few. And I don't know if I'm allowed to go I don't know how much of a wild card I'm allowed to be. And so at first I was trying to think of things that involve adulting. And I think this actually does kind of tie into it.
Oh, it definitely does, yes.
So it's not, obviously 90s nostalgia means something to all of us. However, I went the extra mile, and my topic specifically is 90s toys that I did not get as a child, but I'm still bitter about not getting.
Yes.
And I have a lot of different things that I was promised and no one delivered. So I still, at 26 years old, think about them. And yes, that is adulting for anyone asking.
It is. And honestly, I've talked briefly about a certain toy that I wanted for my whole childhood.
What was it,
that
Tommy?
I never tracked down. And it was a Micro Machines made this. So I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Uh-huh.
And Micro Machines made essentially like the marketed toward boys, because boys and girls can't play with the same toys.
Right, so, why would they?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, boys can't play with dolls, duh. So they made these like marketed toward boys Polly Pockets, essentially.
Oh my.
That were made by Micro Machines, and they had an R2-D2 that opened up, and when you opened it up, it was Jabba the Hutt's palace. And I wanted it so bad. I was at a Toy Liquidators, if you remember that store, anybody.
Uh-huh.
And I was there. They had two. They had a Boba Fett that turned into Cloud City, and they had a R2-D2 that turned into Jabba's palace with a working trap door and a Rancor. And I remember thinking, I'm going to get this Boba Fett because Boba Fett's badass. And for the rest of my life, I regretted not getting the R2-D2. And if you look behind me on the camera, listeners cannot, but there is an R2-D2 sitting up there because we had a listener that was so awesome and tracked it down on eBay and sent it to me. And so, like, that's the one that for years plagued me. I have others, but that's the one that I'll share a success story, I guess. And that's the one that got. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna throw it to you first, Em, since it's your topic. What really just grinds your gears that you didn't get?
I brought a list. So
I have a list too. Mine's on paper because I'm old.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that to this day, I still want more than anything an original light bright. Do you remember what?
Yes.
Where they put the plug? I still to this day have a thing about neon and glow sticks, and I think it all started with all my friends had light brights. I didn't have a light bright. One. Well, that's
I'm
good
sorry,
for
I
you.
had one too.
I get it. You were more loved. That's fine. So,
sure.
But so the thing about light brights, the thing that they didn't think about was that after you used up all the paper, you can never redo a picture.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you really got a light bright just to enjoy it 10 times. And then you had to go buy a whole new light bright. And so that was always my mom's argument of why would I get you something that I'm just gonna have to buy it in another 10 weeks. And I was like, okay, valid. But it's not really valid because I'm 26 and still pissed. So
also, I like that you were a kid that was like, valid point, mother.
I was like,
well
I hear
done.
I hear
Touché.
you, but I'm gonna think on this for 15 more years.
You could buy refills for it. They sold Disney packs, and you could buy a 10-pack of that for $3, and then you had 10 more pictures.
Okay, 10-year-old me is pissed at you that I'm finding this out now. But
yeah, I'm so sorry. But
but we didn't
know.
Do
you want to know something?
What?
I'm so sorry.
I literally, from time to time, as a grown adult, will walk around singing the Light Bright theme.
Yeah!
And I'm really excited that someone else remembers Light Bright, because I'll just walk around going, light bright, wish I may, wish I might, I can make it with Light Bright.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I didn't know what the theme was.
The child in me has butterflies because I'm so excited, but I'm also it's bone chilling because I'm still so mad that I can hear the song and I know I'll never get the present. So I want it so
never
bad.
know.
That makes me sad that you never had a light bright.
Yeah.
Well, get ready. You're about to be even more sad because
oh no.
Next up is the Nickelodeon Time Blaster alarm clock.
Oh yes. I never got it either. Oh.
When I'm bored and in a really sad mood, sometimes specifically in my depression, I know this is the most bougie thing to say, but one of the only things that really gets me out of my depression is to go online shopping. So, but I specifically have to go on online shopping for things that I would not buy to make they cannot be practical purchases. I have to buy something that either involves Captain America or 90s nostalgia. Mm-hmm. And every single time I have a depressive phase and decide that I'm going to online shop, which is probably every 20 minutes, I always look up the Time Blaster alarm clock. It's a bookmarked on my computer. I'm ready to buy it at all times, but I'm so afraid that if I buy it, it's not going to be as magical as I thought it was. By now, if I bought one, it's been sitting around, so the lights might be dimmed or I don't really need an alarm clock. I have a million. Also, I have a girlfriend, and we're gonna be moving in together soon, and I can't imagine she wants that on our bedside table. So a lot of factors fall into it.
Of course she does.
Well, she better is really the key there.
You deserve it.
Let's move on to the Super Soaker 3000 because that's one that I still think about often because I got the Super Soaker 500, which I know nobody else cares about the difference, but the main difference was that I think it was the Super Soaker 3000 had like 3 different water chambers.
Yeah.
And I was not allowed because my mom thought that was too violent. And I was like, okay, so I have like a little dinky one. And in the neighborhood, I can't, like, I'm going to lose. If there's someone else with a water gun, like, why even fight them? I'm going to get super soaked. So,
wow, I forgot about this one. Yeah, it's there's so many chambers. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that one. Now I got to figure out which one I did. Now, I'm going to, as you're talking, I'm going to figure out which one I had.
It has a backpack.
Yeah, it was gnarly. Like, they knew you were going in for a war. There was
I had the
no
1,000.
kidding around.
I had the
Pathetic.
1000 too.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this.
Mine
now
was
I'm
such
really sad.
Mine was such a tiny little guy. It was like, why even bring him? Like, if someone was like, let's fight, and I showed them my Super Soaker, they'd be like, never mind, I feel bad.
Oh, yeah, that is such a small little one.
Yeah, and my mom was like, you're fine. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. And I did.
Yeah, you probably never won, did you?
Not even one time
Oh,
by
wow.
accident.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I toss and turn about at night. And I'll text my mom still. I'll remind her. I'm like, you know what you did. And the other big thing that this is actually probably my biggest crux. This is the one that I actually have had several conversations about this with multiple people recently and ever since. The Game Boy Color, I had one before anyone says anything. I had the blue one, the teal one. Mm-hmm. But all I wanted was that purple see-through one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was all I wanted. And for some reason, my mom said, ironically, she was like, no, that's a boy color. Have the blue one, by the way. Which makes absolutely no sense. First of all, in hindsight, gender is a construct. 1. Mm-hmm. 2, blue, if we're going off of stereotypes, is the most boy color.
The silky, transparent purple one is the boy one.
I think my mother is colorblind.
So risque.
But so to this day, I will text her in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I haven't forgotten, and I'm still mad. So yeah, that's probably the biggest one. And I've actually had conversations with Christine about it on our show, and she had that one. So that's one of the reasons I can't talk to her sometimes. Sometimes when I'm like, when I just get angry, there'll be times where I like just want to pick a fight, like in my car or like after work. I'm one of those people who like makes up fake arguments in my car. And I've made up an argument before about Christine having the purple Game Boy and me not having it. And I've just really gone back and forth with myself. And I'm like, I can't believe you. And I didn't even know her then. But I, like to poke fun for no reason, I guess, because I'm a psychopath. So,
Em, I need your forgiveness.
Why? You had it. Did you have it?
I did.
Oh, I'm going to pick a fight about that in my car tomorrow after work.
I'm sorry. My parents wanted
cool
my parents wanted their son to have the girliest Game Boy Color they could find.
Our mothers should have talked before.
Really, they should have.
I had a like original 1980s like the gray brick.
Yeah, huh? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
At least mine was in like a weird red and green colored screen.
Yeah, mine was just straight up that weird yellow with black lines on its screen. It was bad.
And to this day, there was the Game Boy Color game for Tarzan. It was I still haven't won, and I still have my Game Boy Color, and sometimes I still try to play that game, and I still can't win. And I'm a 26-year-old person. I don't know how other people succeeded in like 1999, but I still can't figure it out.
They did.
I could never beat the Lion King Super Nintendo game. I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
I had a Sega Dreamcast back in the 90s, and there was my dad has a Sega Dreamcast. And so there was a Star Wars game. It was called The Phantom Jedi or something like that. But it was a Sega Dreamcast video game, and I could never get past level 2. And recently I found a Sega Dreamcast in like a thrift store, and I bought it, and then I went on Amazon and found that old Star Wars game, and I was like, I'm going to kick its ass now. I'm 10 years older. Like, that game has no chance on me. And I still can't win. And it's the exact same spot. It's like I have a block. Like, I revert back to like a 10-year-old, and I can't figure it out.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm just being sad for you because I know how bad I am at video games.
Yeah, you're really bad at video games.
I thought you were just
get
gonna.
stuck.
I thought you were gonna rub it in my face again, like, oh yeah, I had the purple Game Boy and I won that specific game on a Sega
Nope.
Dreamcast.
No, I can guarantee you I did not. I was very bad.
There was a few others I wanted to mention just in passing that
Okay.
I'll just read off the list. Nickelodeon GAC, never had that. Always wanted it.
Yeah, me too.
Sky Dancers. Do you remember what Sky Dancers were?
Yeah, you would always like the things you like pulled the ripcord.
Yeah.
And they would fly up in the air and always take somebody's fucking eye out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my friends had
Yeah.
those. My
Yep.
parents wouldn't let me have that for obvious reasons.
I really wanted hit clips where like it was
Me
where
too.
like I mean it was
Yes.
one
had 'em.
earbud and you could play 30 seconds of one song. It was like the original iPod.
I had Oops, I Did It Again and Quit Playing Games with My Heart. Those were the only two I had.
You
My
guys are
sister
really
got it later on in life when it was because they made other versions of it where it was slightly longer versions of the song, and by
Like-
longer,
like 60 seconds of one
yeah,
song.
yeah, something like that. And I was significantly older than my sister, so I'm sitting there listening to songs for pretty much 5-year-olds just because I'm just like trying the best of being like I just wanted hit clips so bad.
Well, they made
the
the
boombox.
they made them look so cool on commercials. Like people
I
were
know.
dancing and dancing, but you didn't know they were dancing for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
The other thing was an original Bop It.
Oh, yeah.
I
You never
had.
had an original Bop It.
Listen, I get that you were just fed silver spoons and like had every game I always wanted, but I did not have an original Bop It.
I'm realizing.
I didn't either.
I'm realizing how.
You were so
If my
lucky.
parents are listening, I'm actually very grateful. I'm legitimately grateful because
I've
that's
never owned a Bop It at all.
Oh, they're a fun time, according to the times I've been at other people's houses and played Bop It.
Well, let me tell you something about Bop Its. Here's the interesting fact. Like, it's cool at first, and then you get to a point where you can't get any better, and then you just get frustrated. And
Okay, that's fair.
So that's kind of where I got. And then I would play with my parents, but my parents would like destroy me. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they're adults and we're far more coordinated than I was, but simultaneously it's just I don't want to play this game. They're going like 20 times longer than me. And so I just like would let them keep playing. I would just go and I'd go listen to my 4-year-old sister's hit clips. Just cry in the corner.
My argument for a Bop It was that I was raised an only child. I didn't have siblings until I was like in middle school or high school, and they were all step siblings. And they were much older than me, and I never lived with them. So I have siblings. I just have always been an only child by upbringing. And I was like, the Bop It is the perfect game for me. I'll sit on a couch and play by myself, and I won't bother you. And that still wasn't a good enough answer. Like, I mean, a Bop It, a Light Bright, GAC. I mean, like, and an alarm clock. I'm asking for like the most only child presents, and I couldn't get any of them.
I didn't have any of those either, and I was an only child.
I think
I did have a Light Bright.
and a Game Boy Color. Did you have? Oh no, you
I
had
did
the brick
not.
one.
No,
You
I
had
had
just the
old school
grayscale.
one.
The other two things that I always, or actually 3 things, excuse me. The 3 things that I've always really wanted, I can never have because I was just physically taller and bigger than other children. So, moon shoes, like those trampoline shoes.
That's on my
Yep.
list. It's to this day sad that I'd ever had them.
On the same vein, the shoes that light up, I could never fit into either of them because I was too big of
yeah.
a child. And not Barbie brand, but the only way I can say it where I know you'll understand is a Barbie Jeep. Like the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
like the Jeep that you can like drive around on a battery.
Yep.
That just a version of one of those I wanted so bad, but I was too big. I couldn't fit. So that wasn't my parents' fault. It was more genetics. So actually it was my parents' fault. But but I was always so bitter that like my friends would have those Jeeps or they could jump around on moon shoes, and I just couldn't do it purely because I had like feet the size of boats. So anyway, that's my list of games
That's
that
a
I
good
still
list.
deserve.
That's a good list.
Christopher, what do you deserve, bud?
Well, I also wanted moon shoes, and I never got them, unfortunately. But at the same time, hey, I'm not here to brag because I was very grateful to have a lot of the other things. Now, here's the one game that I both never had nor had the ability to play until I was in college, and people found out and felt bad, so they went and bought it for me. I had never played Mousetrap in my entire life.
I remember that.
And I was so upset about it. I would watch, for anyone who doesn't know, it's pretty much this elaborate game where you're just trying, the first one, to trap a mouse. I mean, when you think about it, it sounds like pretty much like Hibisco, or what Nabisco? What am I trying to... That's a food brand.
Hibiscus?
What am I trying to say? What is it? Milton Bradley. There we go.
There you go.
Like, they pretty much just said, hey, let's find a game that families played like in the Great Depression, and let's just make it slightly different. And let's catch a mouse.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what it was. And I wanted it so bad. I remember the commercial so well. And I would just sit there and just paw at the screen and just say, "I'm gonna get you, mouse."
Well, the thing is, like, for me, as an only child, I never got any of the toys that I could have actually played with by myself. But my mom would always get me like the 2 to 4 player games, and I was like, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this?" And one of them was Mousetrap. But here's the thing. Because I was an only child, I could never play with it. It was just always on my shelf.
Here's what you do, Em.
And we should have been BFFs back then.
As a fellow only child,
Yeah.
I would set up board games
And play
then
all
I would
parts.
just play with them by myself.
Yeah, I would do that too. I would do that, but I would set up different, just like, I mean, on my show, and That's Why We Drink, I eat milkshakes. That's the thing that I drink. Sure. And what perfect foreshadowing is that I would assign myself different ice cream flavors per, like, let's say we were playing Trouble or Sorry, and there was like 4, or Candyland, there's like 4 different players essentially. I would pick 4 different ice cream flavors, and whichever one won, that would be the ice cream flavor I got to eat as my reward. So I'd be like, Team Chocolate, Team Strawberry. And then if Team Chocolate won, it's like, I have to have chocolate ice cream. Poor me. Like, there's something wrong with me. But also at the end, I got to eat ice cream every time. So I don't know why I was even complaining.
I will say this. For what your parents lacked in getting you a variety of those toys you wanted, apparently you killed in the ice cream game because you're having multiple flavors. That sounds amazing.
Well, I was also raised by a single woman who was dating, so we always had ice cream just in case, like, she had a lone night and I had a lone night. That we could both bond over ice cream together. So
gotcha. Okay.
Who can't?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. Mousetrap was another one. Moon shoes. Yep. I always wanted to bounce, and I was also too tall and too big to do it, and it just never worked out. Do you by chance remember Floam?
Yeah, I remember Floam. That was the best.
Yeah, so Floam was similar to GAC, which is similar to is it Slime is the more popular thing that happened last year? Well, Floam was like one of the original ones. But Slime and GAC were closer. Floam was like this kind of partial Play-Doh, partial slime, partial
it had
insulation.
Like foam. Yeah,
it was a strange consistency.
It felt like it was like kind of like spongy, but I don't know how to describe it. It was very much like foam that I assume floated in water. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So it was this very interesting material, but I always wanted it so bad, and I never even got a chance to hold it. So I don't even know what it felt like at the end. I just knew what it looked like, and I just dreamed of what it might feel like one day. That's a sad thing to think about. I want to touch that squishy stuff.
But also, I think if you ever touched it, you wouldn't even be disappointed because it feels exactly like you think it does.
Really?
So if you've thought about it hard enough, you have felt it, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
That's a pretty deep thought, actually. And finally, this is probably the other one that was a close second to Mousetrap, and it was another game that I desperately wanted, and the commercials made it look so amazing, and that was Crossfire, where
Crossfire.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it was, and from what I could tell, it was just pinball, but one-on-one pinball but you crash into each other. Is that kind of right?
It was it was like a hockey foosball pinball combination,
but like a little small version of it.
Yeah.
And I wanted it so bad, and I think I got to play it once, and I was just so excited. And then my family was like, "All right, Chris, first time to go," and then I was just forever sad.
That was like, there was this one game that I was obsessed with, and to this day I don't know where it went, and if I ever find it on eBay I'm gonna buy it. But it was laser tennis, and it was the same size.
What?
Laser tennis, where like basically the rackets had like, I can't even explain. It's 2018 and I can't explain this technology. It was
lasers,
like the size of the Crossfire board. Like it was like a board game size, but you would mount this like laser, basically a laser pointer.
Interesting.
Over it, and the instead of there being a tennis ball, it was a laser that would move across the court in like different directions, and the rackets were mirrors, so the laser could sense when you like essentially hit the laser, and it would play back to the other player, and you would play tennis basically with mirrors and a laser pointer. But it looked like a tennis court. I was blown away. I don't know where it went, but it was my favorite game, and as a single only child, I played both sides. I just like put it sideways in front of me and would go left hand versus right hand.
Laser tennis. I'm going to look that up myself. So,
Yeah.
Steven, why don't you go ahead and start sharing while I try and figure out what laser tennis was.
Oh, I just shared an image of laser tennis in the group chat with everyone. So
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
It was
I need
before
you
its
to
time.
know, though. I need you to know you can purchase it on Amazon right now. There's one.
Stop it.
It's $50.
Money well spent is what I call that. So
It is Prime eligible.
Wow.
I could get it tomorrow. Oh man, I just might have
Collectible.
to.
Very good. Anyway,
I don't like
Doris
this guy on
Henry
the box,
is the
though.
seller.
I don't like the guy on the box. He's got trouble written in his eyes all over. I don't know.
He smells like a bag of cats. Looks so crazy.
I mean,
Wait, hold on. What?
I feel we both just quoted random sayings from like 89-year-old people, and I don't think
Yeah.
I've heard either one of those phrases before.
My grandparents always used to say, he's either you could smell the crazy on him, or he looks like a bag of cats. Because like a bag of cats is just crazy. That is just a wild image.
Who's this cruel person that put a bunch of cats in a bag?
I mean, you can only imagine what a bag of cats would look like, and that's how crazy
Just
I
be
could,
like
I could refer to
Interesting.
someone. I don't know.
Wow.
Could you just imagine how scandalous and crazy it would be though when they let the cats out of the bag?
That- Anyway, before we go on that tangent,
That was the lesser known
exactly.
popular song from the Baja Men. Who put the
Who let
cats,
the cats
in
out?
the bag. Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna real quick go down my list.
Okay.
So Jabba the Hutt, clearly, but as I said, that's the success story of this whole thing.
right?
Brag.
There was a Micro Machines also, but it was massive Death Star that opened up
I wanted
into
that
the
one
planet
so
of
bad.
Tatooine. I wanted it.
I'm
I wanted it so bad.
I don't blame you.
And I think I briefly played with one, and it was amazing. And then that moment in time just disappeared. It scampered off, and I was sad forever. So, also, Gargoyles. If you remember the show Gargoyles,
I
there was a
loved
line of
Gargoyles.
Gargoyles toys.
Yep.
And I remember thinking they were so cool. Them and Street Sharks.
Oh, I loved Street Sharks.
And let me tell you, I own the entire series of Street Sharks on DVD, and that shit does not hold up.
Oh, really?
Can I tell you a quick
It's
fun
definitely
story?
just a 30-minute toy commercial.
Oh my god!
Can I tell you a quick fun story of how I won Street Sharks?
How you won all of you won
sorry,
the rights
I-
to them?
No. I had
Chris,
to
Street Shark
earn
mogul.
them from my family because I was being so annoying about it and wanted it, and I was super afraid of swimming at the time, and so I had to prove myself by hold on, that makes it sound like my parents are being super aggressive. That's not what they were trying to help me get over a fear of mine. They would have probably have gotten it for me either way, but I had to jump off the diving board. And it was like a big moment, and like
Not worth it.
And I just remember the whole time being like, did I want to jump? Hell no. I had one thing on my mind, and I was like, if I get in this water, I will be a shark. If I'm a shark, I get street sharks. And so I remember just like walking, my whole body shaking, and I feel like I just jumped and just in the air was just like, this one's for you. And I went in, and then I went and got street sharks, and it was the best day of my life.
That sound. I mean, well done.
It sounds like a good day.
Thank you. It was.
It does. So here's the two biggest ones. One is I had a Nintendo 64, right? So video game systems I had growing up, I had my old school Game Boy. I had a Super Nintendo, which is still the greatest video game console of all time. And I had a Nintendo 64. But around the 64 era, there was another system.
I know
and
what it
all
is.
my friends had it.
I know what it is.
And I wanted it so hard.
Yep.
And that was the Sony PlayStation.
Oh, that's not what I thought it was.
I wanted a PlayStation so bad because PlayStation's like, I was still a kid, but Sony PlayStations, that was the adult gaming console. Like,
I mean, is this adulting? I think so. That's what you were saying.
I think it is. Yeah, I need to be adulting.
I wanted the
need that.
Dreamcast.
The Sega
the
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
That was a whirlwind. That was a fun time.
Underrated.
Yep.
But I wanted that good gray Sony game box, and I did not ever get it. I always wanted it, and I remember my friend had one, and I would go over to his house, and I would always play Crash Bandicoot. And the original Crash Bandicoot, not that one, it was Crash Bandicoot 3, or Crash Warped, as it's called. I finally got to play the full game when they re-released it for PlayStation 4 last year.
Can you say that name one more time?
Crash Bandicoot Warped.
The way you're saying it's so southern.
Warped?
No, Bandicoot.
Bandicoot got warped all over the world.
I loved Crash Bandicoot. Sorry.
Crash Bandicoot. Bandicoot. We could have gone for Bandicoot Talk forever.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bandicoot Talk. I'm your host, Steven. This is my buddy Chris Crash. And Em's
Taking
over
a
there.
bath.
All right, I'm going to be done with Bandicoot Talk. But yeah, I wanted it, and then I remember we were on vacation in Disney World, and it was like the one like big vacation we went on when I was a kid, and I didn't want to go to Disney World because I was in a hotel room, and on the TV had the capability you could like purchase time and play a set number of video games.
Oh, I remember that.
In the hotel room on the TV.
I remember.
And one of the games was Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. And I wanted to play it so badly. And I played it for like an hour, and it was the happiest hour of my life. And then I had to like put it down and leave. And I never got that Sony PlayStation. I'm still bitter about it.
Your family's like, don't play that video game. Go to Disney and like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but I want to stay here.
Where your dreams will come
hotel
true,
was
Steven.
awesome. Yeah, but the hotel was great. There was a pool and an arcade, and
Man,
I mean, it was Disney. It was where dreams come true.
Why don't we still have the ability to rent video game systems in a hotel?
I don't know,
right?
because that was, it seemed like such a novel idea. I don't know why that phased out. I guess because now you can have
that
apps
back.
on your phone, but there's something about watching it on a big screen when you're playing. I just think. Also, I always was very jealous of people who had the race car VCR rewinder, the VHS rewinder.
Oh, yeah.
And you could like press down on like close the roof of the car with the video in it, and it would rewind for you. Because I always had to like, we had a knob where you had to hold it until it rewound all the way. Like it wouldn't just do it on its own. So I remember after every movie, I had to sit there for like 10 minutes and hold this little knob the right way. And if I messed up, it would start playing again. So I was always jealous of the car.
Kids will never understand how fucking terrible it was to have to rewind movies. And the worst was when you went to watch it and it hadn't been rewound.
Yeah, and then it was on
That's a
you.
bad day.
If you really want to watch it, you got to sit here and wait 10 minutes. It was
Right.
My niece and my nephew. When my nephew, he's 13 now, but when he was a little kid, I remember him he's still a little kid, but when he was like a child, I remember him asking me why we say that we hang up a phone. And I was like, "Oh, you've never been around a phone that you have to actually hang up on the wall."
Oh, yeah. I remember my first phone was rotary dial.
Yeah, and if you look at like the icon on a phone to call someone is an old school landline phone, and my same nephew was like, "What is that symbol?" And I was like, "That's an actual phone."
It's a telephone.
Is that a strange fruit?
Yeah.
Strange fruit. Strange fruit sounds like a weird jazz album. Anyway,
That is a good one.
last but not least, I'll leave it with this. I'm not gonna wax poetic because there's so many words I could say, and I'm emotionally not in a place where I think I can handle it. When I was 5, Power Rangers was in full swing.
Of course. I had a crush on Kimmy, so
Oh, me too.
I think we all
Oh,
did.
same here. Yeah.
Yeah, Pink Ranger, that was my sexual awakening.
Yep.
But
Mine was Miss Honey from Matilda, so we've all got our demons.
oh yeah, well we all loved her too. There were these Power Ranger toys, and my neighbor had it in the apartment complex we lived in. And I remember how badly I wanted these toys, but I wasn't allowed to have them because I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers because it was too violent. But I would like wake up and still watch it like when I wasn't supposed to on our TV that had the knobs you had to turn like to get the channels on. And I would wake up and watch Power Rangers even though I wasn't supposed to. And I had so much fun doing that. And then my neighbor had this figure and he had the Black Ranger. And I didn't care which Ranger I had. I just wanted a Ranger and I never got one. But they would be in their Power Ranger uniform, but their head was like their normal like head. And then you hit the button on their belt
flips.
and it flipped. And their head was like the Power Ranger helmet.
Well, that just sounds amazing.
And I wanted it so badly. There was that, and along with it, I always wanted McDonald's came out with this like set of, it was a morpher, and there were these coins that went in it to go with the Power Rangers movie, and it was literally just a tiny box that clasped shut with a plastic coin, but I wanted it and I never got it. And I'm still really upset about it. Like to this day, I'm like, Mom, why didn't you take me to every McDonald's in town until we found the pterodactyl coin? Why did I not get it?
My dad did that with me for the Inspector Gadget movie that came out. And
oh my God, yes.
And McDonald's was selling individual limbs of Inspector Gadget, where
disturbing,
like the torso, the head, the legs, and the arms, which is just as creepy in hindsight as it should have been then. But I remember,
and that's why
here, kids, you got a special gift for yours: the pelvis.
Here is a man's head. But so
enjoy.
I will give my dad credit. Him and I have a relationship where there were some darker times and some nicer times, but one of my favorite memories with my dad was that he actually did take the time and drove to every McDonald's and went through the drive-thru and said, "I'm looking for an arm. I'm looking for a leg. Can you please give me this man's torso?"
Sir, you need to leave.
And you know what? I will give him credit. He got me every single part of Inspector Gadget, and you could put the whole body on, and it turned into a whole man, and each limb had a different little gadget. Like one was like the helicopter hat, one was like the arm extended, one was a flashlight leg. And to his credit, I have the entire Inspector Gadget body. So
Steven, to be fair though, if someone drives up into a drive-thru and says, "Give me an arm,"
yeah, exactly.
You give them
Sir,
what
you
they
need to
ask
leave now. My mom did that for the Lord of the Rings when Burger King came out with 19 separate figures, and they all connected to this one ring in the middle.
Oh, wow.
Smart
And
right there. That's
they were
smart.
on little stands, and my mom drove me to every Burger King, and the one she couldn't get, she like had shipped in or something.
your mom is a woman among women.
Yes, she's amazing. But hi, Mom, you're not listening. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more Is This Adulting?
Nice.
Yeah, that was just for y'all. I might leave that in. Who knows?
Who put the cats in the bag? Bag. Sorry.
Hey everybody, best friend Stephen Pappas breaking in with your weekly podcast recommendation. So this week we're recommending Bubble. If you haven't listened to Bubble, you're really missing out. So, little synopsis of Bubble. Welcome to Fairhaven, a literal bubble of corporate utopia set amid the wild goblin-infested brush. The first scripted comedy series for maximum fun, Bubble tells a tale that is both contemporary and otherworldly, as a small band of monster killers struggles to make ends meet and find love in a nightmarish version of the gig economy. So, this show is so fun. It's amazing. It is essentially a podcast sitcom that you have to be listening to. Max Fun, it's no secret we love them, but they're putting out incredible shows, and this is their first scripted comedy thing. It's got great voice acting by some great podcasters, and so definitely check this out. It's a lot of fun. You will laugh your ass off, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, back to the show. I sometimes I just go shirtless. What can I say? And we're back. It's game time.
All right,
Chris, what game are we playing?
Sup? It's me, Chris. Back at you, your boy with a brand new game.
What's the
Who's
game?
ready? Yeah, it's a new game. We've never played it before.
Oh boy,
I don't know what it is.
I call it Wish List. Let me explain why.
Light Bright, Game Boy.
I mean, it's appropriate with all the things we're talking about today. But so Wish is a very popular online website where sells a whole lot of stuff for very cheap.
I love Wish.
Some of the items, though, are weird.
Oh yeah,
Like really weird. So
Sure.
I am going to list 3 items. 2 of them are actually items that you can purchase on Wish. The other is from the weird depths of my brain.
this is the best game I've ever played, and I haven't even played it yet.
You have to guess which one's fake, everybody.
I'd like
Okay.
to give myself credit because I have done a lot of midnight perusing on Wish. So hopefully that works to my advantage, although who knows what's out there and who knows what has come up in your mind. So
We're like 2 truths and a lie, right?
Pretty much. You have to guess which one is fake. This is how we're going to do it. We're just going to buzz in. What should we just do? What should the buzz be? Just a wish sound?
yeah, Wish. I don't know.
Whoosh. Oh, there we go. That's
There
the
it is.
buzz
Okay,
right there.
okay.
Whoosh. There we go.
Wish.
Yeah, however you want to say wish. So the first category it's pretty simple. It's called Nicolas Cage merchandise.
Oh, no.
Oh right. Well, I'm gonna fail this one.
So remember, 2 of these are actual items that you can buy. 1 is fake.
Okay.
So is it A, a Nicolas Cage tank top of just his face? B, a Nicolas Cage onesie that makes you look like his whole body? Or C, or 3, I don't know which way I was going, a Nicolas Cage t-shirt with like 100 nicks on it?
Wish.
Steven.
The onesie.
You're right. I wanted it so badly to be it. Unfortunately, it is not. It's the other 2 are in fact real. Now, I'm going to send you. I'm going to let you see both of these, as well as let you know that you can find this on our show notes. Stephen, make sure you put the show notes tab in the notes, so you can.
You
see
did not
these
explain that. Oh, you did not explain those the way that they are. You made it seem much more innocent. you were like a shirt with his face on it, not a shirt entirely made of his insane face.
It's a very close shot of his face,
Of his deranged, he looks like a bag of cats.
Yeah,
Is what he looks like.
and look at the other one where it's just literally like 100 of his face.
It's like it's his face, but the rest of the fabric is also his skin tone. So it really looks like you're wearing
Nobody
his
needs
face.
that.
It's both of these are just beautiful in the opposite sense of that word. But congratulations, Stephen. You have in fact gotten the first point. So it's okay though.
Yes.
It's still anyone's game. So the next category,
Anyone's
I call,
game.
Anyone's game. I call what's in the bag. It's
A
just,
cat.
It's just a bunch of different types of bags. So, is it? Which is the fake one? A purse with a storeway machete for burglar attacks.
Sure.
B, a book bag with a giant tiger's head. Or of a giant tiger's head, sorry.
Okay.
Not with just a
Like a Godfather experience.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Or C, or 3, whichever one I'm doing, a fanny pack that looks like a beer gut.
Oh, the first one. Wish, the first one.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is no purse with a store-away machete for burglar text.
Oh, I wish.
I wish as well. But hey, in time, maybe Wish will add that on there. But until then, I'm going to let you see these 2 interesting ones. I'm going to start with the nice and simple one. And that is the gigantic tiger head book bag.
Oh, goodness.
That's very regal.
It's the actual size of a tiger's head.
That's going to be at the Met Gala next year.
You could wear that into Africa, like into the jungle, and maybe cohabitate. I don't know. You could really get close with the tigers. I don't know.
They don't have tigers.
I know. I heard it because in my
hold
mind
on.
I was thinking lions, and then I was like, these are tigers.
Em, how close you trying to get to those tigers?
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, okay, here was my mentality on that, because I recently just rewatched the video of the Lion Whisperer. Have you seen it? The guy who like literally is best friends with lions.
Yeah.
I was
it
thinking,
made after me.
I was thinking I could get as close to lions as him, and then I totally just decided that you weren't talking about tigers, and I replaced it with lions.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's
Okay.
fair. Well, if you think that one's disturbing, this other bag memorabilia is especially disgusting. There are multiple types of beer guts you can get.
Oh, no,
All
no,
of them
no.
are strangely realistic.
Here's the thing. I knew that this existed because I've almost bought this. Because
I'm the Sherman.
the Sherman.
That's my belly.
Oh my word! I want to be
Sherman
the Magnus.
is a beautiful one. Either way, y'all need to take a look at this on the show notes, which is in the description, because this one in particular is, maybe it's just the picture that makes it look that realistic, and hopefully it would not look that realistic in real life, because it is honestly
It looks
disturbing.
so real, so
Yeah.
creepily real.
Yeah, it is very, very uncomfortable. But so I'm curious, out of the ones we've seen so far, Em, I think you said you would buy the beer gut. That's your first option. Steven,
Hands down.
which one would you get as of now?
I want that tiger backpack because I like to confuse people. Like, if I'm walking away from them, I don't want them to know, like, am I coming at them? Am I walking?
That's
Like,
what I'm
am I
saying.
doing?
You could wear that in Africa if it was a lion.
I mean, just think if you're a kid, you're in middle school, you're getting bullied, and you put that thing front first, just on your belly, and just charge straight at that bully.
And you yell Wakanda forever. and
Yeah.
they just
That
Oh,
bully
now
is
we're
going
bringing
to,
panthers into
is,
it.
is
Oh
going
man,
to tinkle everywhere.
This episode's a regular bag of cats.
it really is.
Well done.
Lions, tigers, and panthers. Oh my.
Oh,
Well
my.
done. All right. Well, look, we are tied. So this is now anyone's game, and this is the last one. Are you
Oh
ready?
boy. Oh boy. Yeah, let's do it.
I didn't know exactly how to call this category, so I loosely have called it human extensions.
No.
Can't wait.
So, which one is fake? A, gloves that give you webbed hands. B, a belly button plug to make your innie an outie. Or C, a tube to attach to your little boy's wee-wee to stand up while they pee.
Oh, that's Wish B.
B is the fake one?
Yes. Am I wrong?
I need that to be real.
I want it to be fake. The innie and the outie.
You are correct, and you've won the game. Unfortunately, you guessed them all right. I didn't even trick you even once, y'all. That's sad. But even more sad is the things that I'm about to show you. So we're going to start nice and simple, and that's, yes, there are, in fact, gloves that you can make yourself have webbed hands, which,
Is it for swimming? Okay.
yeah, so,
I can get behind that.
I mean, I guess it would help. I mean, how much do you think it would help? Like, maybe a little bit?
I think fractionally. I think
Yeah,
not
at best.
much.
Well, coming from someone who has fully webbed hands and feet, it does help with daily activities. Have you ever tried to churn butter using your feet while they're webbed? It's very, very successful.
Yeah, but it also seems like a lonely life. Like, how often are you holding hands?
My wife and I we've managed some workarounds.
Like a high five every now and then?
Yeah, when you get married, it's kind of like,
What?
okay, when babies are born, a lot of times they're circumcised. When you get married and you have webbed hands, they actually
circumcise
cut
your
finger
hands?
holes. No, they cut finger holes in my webs so that my wife and I can hold hands.
Oh,
so
I
it's
see.
Really cute.
Actually,
it's cute and disturbing.
Actually, I mean, also I have a true crime podcast that does not psych me out, but I see where you're coming from, and it's a creative problem solving. And I am curious about where the wedding ring would go, but that's neither here nor there.
It's everywhere. It's
It's wherever
it's
you
around
need
my
it to be.
wrist.
Is that what The Shape of Water was about?
Yeah. That's the last scene of The Shape of Water. It's just
The
them cutting-
painful scene of just like the procedure of cutting holes into. That's horrible. All right, well, if you think that's bad, get ready because it's about to get a whole lot worse.
I don't want to see it.
And this is a gigantic tube that you can attach to your little boy's wee-wee to be able to stand up and pee.
And teach him potty training is what we'll call it.
Yep, get
Oh
ready.
dear God! It has
Oh.
a face.
It is.
Oh no!
It looks okay. For the people who cannot see, this is a crocodile literally biting a little boy's crotch.
No, this is inappropriate. Nothing that has a face on it should ever be near your dick.
Especially
No,
with its mouth completely open and encompassing the dick.
Yes, and it looks as though it closes, and they do open and close, which is terrifying.
I'm more concerned by the fact that you're teaching your child strange habits because then they're just going to assume they can only pee in tubes.
That's true.
Or into the mouths of animals.
Oh no!
Oh,
That's
that makes
the
things
real
very
issue.
interesting.
Well,
That's a whole different game.
I understand, like, if you're like, I don't know when you would ever be in this kind of an emergency, but if you're like in crazy traffic and need to like pee in a bottle, maybe train them when they're young so they don't miss. But that's the only time I could ever imagine that being needed in the training.
Or if you live in Louisiana and you're being attacked by an alligator.
Or maybe you're camping, but also you just go outside. I don't know.
But this is a gigantic tube.
You know where that would be good though? Coachella, when you don't want to walk to the bathroom. I mean, that's a far walk.
But so you're just peeing in a very centralized part of the grass?
Like if you, I guess, yeah, you could go outside at Coachella too. I was thinking more like if you're in a tent, like you could like go to your tent if it's nearby, and
Pee in
instead of
your
having to
tent?
walk. Yeah, well, you got the tube. I don't know. Here's the thing. I have a lot of friends that have gone to a lot of music festivals, and I've heard some horror stories about the bathrooms. And I imagine, example, I won't give any names, but someone that goes to regular music festivals, who is one of my oldest friends, so I feel like I have inherited the right to say this very embarrassing story about them.
Christine Schieffer.
No, not Christine, not Christine. She got violently ill and needed to go number 2. However, the bathrooms were way too far away and ended up having to go in the tent. In the tent. So my thought is, like, in a better case scenario, if you have to go pee, and you really got to go, and you're in a public area, but you're kind of closed off, this is like the time to do. I don't know.
Also, let me clarify something
scenario.
for you both. No, let me clarify something for you both that I just realized, and I didn't know until you started describing it, Em. So this is not. This is like a container. I thought it was a legitimate tube that had a hole at the bottom that just funneled the pee into a very specific area.
Oh yeah, no, it looks like it captures the pee.
I assumed it was like a water bottle kind of thing going on.
No, that's the correct assumption. I just, for some reason, thought it was like if you've ever seen those like Pee-wee baseball games where it has the yellow like plastic tube around the outfield. Like I thought it was just one of those that you just.
Do you think it was just like a peripheral
that you just pee through?
Like
And
just teaching them how to aim.
My thought was like just to keep your child standing up. It was just like a prop that just you peed straight and it went straight to the ground. So
It's okay. Teamwork really put this whole picture together for everyone.
Yep.
yeah,
Everyone listening at home,
Yeah, so-
dreaming about that pee tube.
well, congratulations, Em.
Thank you.
Won this first game of Wishlist. You deserved it, definitely. That was a good match, though.
Well, thank you.
You mastered the P tube.
I mean, someone's gotta. So
Well, I will once I'm older. Am I right?
Oh God.
we all will in that world.
on that note,
Just long pause. Okay.
yeah, that was just a pregnant pause. We're gonna move on to our last topic, which is our topic,
All right.
and we gonna talk about bucket lists.
Love it.
We've been talking about a bunch of lists today.
It's
The list episode.
we really did do this in quite a specific way.
Yeah. What
Yep,
can we say?
it's the toy list, the wish list, and the bucket list, and
Yep.
this is that good death list that we all have.
Do you think that kid could use the tube to pee into the bucket list? No. Sorry. That was a dumb joke.
Oh God.
Well, he could pee into a lot of things. I mean, all he has to do is aim. You know?
He's learned.
Yeah.
All thanks to that.
Inspirational. Anyway, so bucket lists are something that we all have, I guess. I never really thought about mine until I actually had to like sit down. There's always things that I know I've wanted to do, and I'm like, I want to make sure I do this. And it's it was weird for me actually sitting down and going like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I have 3 things on mine,
Okay.
and 2 of them are podcast centric actually. But I realized when I was doing it, I was like, I mean, there's other things out there, but these are the 3 things that came to mind.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with my first one.
Let's go.
Anyone who's listened to this show for a while knows that one of my only goals in life,
I know what
you
this
know,
is.
marriage is great, and you know, maybe one day I will decide to be a parent. God, can you imagine? That'd be fucked up. Anyway, but more so than all of these things, I want to speak to one person, and that person is really any of, but specifically one of the McElroys.
Okay, that's fair.
And that is, I want to just speak to Travis McElroy, because I've gotten to tell Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, and I've gotten to tell Marcus Parks from Last Podcast on the Left. I've gotten to tell them both, when I was in a very dark place, you saved my life. And I've gotten their acknowledgement back. And Travis is the last one that I'm like, I need to tell him, like, where he can hear me say it, and I can get that acknowledgement that he understands what he's done for me without even knowing. So that is on my list. I really like to talk to any of them because I worship the ground they walk on. But yeah, if I could just speak to him at some point, I'd be living the dream. So that is the first item on my list. Should I go through the rest of the list, or shall we jump around popcorn style?
Oh, I don't know.
You go for it. You have 2 more. Let's hear what else you got.
So my second one is I want to spend some time out west. So we live on the East Coast. We live in North Carolina, Chris and I, and it's all well and good. There's a lot of cool history here. Granted, a lot of history is problematic, but there is some cool historical stuff to do. There's beaches, there's mountains, there's North Carolina has been referred to by my friends who live in different parts of the country, looking at you, Josh Hallmark, as the California of the South. Just because we have I know,
Really?
right? We have very different, maybe not politically, but we have very different climates. We have all of that, and you can kind of have whatever weather you want.
That's true.
Depending on where you are, because you have the mountains, you have the beach, you have the Piedmont, and so. But I really want to go specifically California. I know everybody, it's probably California, but there's just so much out there, and it's such a varying place. Like, I would love to spend time from what I understand, I would probably dig the Bay Area a lot, but it's also like the most expensive place to live in the country. So
That's why we all move a couple hours away from it, and we just hope one day we'll make it and we can just migrate over.
yeah, I was like, probably not that. And I've been told there's a whole area of California that I may want to stay away from, just based on my own liberal political leanings. But
Yes.
but then there's like, I'd love to, even if it's just for a few months, like spend some time in LA and San Diego. Like, just like, I have a lot of friends out there. I know a lot of folks out there, but even more so just to like experience something different, because the furthest west I've ever been is Louisiana.
Wow.
And it's just like, yeah, I've never had a reason to go any further west. I've been all up and down the East Coast and kind of the Southeast, but I've never really left it, which is weird because I've never been out west, but I've been to Europe and to Africa. And it's like, well, I've been to these places, but never California.
Right.
So yeah, I want to do that. And last but not least, I have an item that I know is on Chris's bucket list as well. And so I'm going to make a public statement now.
Maybe.
Excuse me, let me. Okay. I need to address recent events. So we had Christine on the show. Mm-hmm. And Christine's episode pushed us to back onto the top 200 comedy charts.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Which is awesome. Yeah, this is on Chris's list. I know it is. And so we're back on the charts. We've been up and down on them for a few days now. That's really encouraging to me. And it makes me feel like what we're doing is valuable.
But it's
there
nothing
is
without this.
one man. There is one man who hosts a podcast. And I'm just going to throw the gauntlet down to our listeners right now. Unsubscribe and resubscribe to our podcast. Do everything you need to do, because there is one podcast that we have to beat. And we're close. Y'all, we're close. And that is Steve Harvey.
He
So
has
Steve
been
Harvey.
our nemesis from the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
We've been podcasting. This is episode 64. Steve Harvey has become our nemesis, and he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
So,
And I love Steve Harvey.
essentially,
That's the part that's so conflicting about it.
Chris does love Steve Harvey. Mm-hmm. But we have some would call it a feud.
Like a
with Steve
family
Harvey.
feud, one might say.
It's
Oh,
very
nice.
familial.
Nice.
And there's a real Hatfield McCoy's thing going on here, because when we first made it onto the charts, we topped out one spot below Steve Harvey.
Oh, no.
And I remember we joked around and we were like, one day we'll beat Steve Harvey.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
We're
And-
always in his shadow.
Right. And what started as a joke has turned into a legitimate goal of like, one day I want us to be higher than Steve Harvey. I don't care where it is. I don't care if he's 199 and we're 198. Like, I just want to pass Steve Harvey, even if it's for 5 minutes, just to say we passed Steve Harvey. So, friends, rate, review, do whatever you have to do, because Steve, we're coming for you.
You know,
we are coming.
I got my mom's two biggest heroes growing up were Tony Robbins and Oprah. Not like while she was growing up. While I was growing up, those were her two biggest heroes. And I remember on her birthday weekend, our show was above Oprah's podcast and Tony Robbins' podcast. And I screenshot, and they were like right below us. And I sent it to my mom, and I was like, all three of your favorites in one spot. So I remember that being like a goal I didn't know I had, but as soon as I did, I felt like she had to have been the proudest mom that I beat out her heroes. And then they the next day they were higher than me, but I got the screenshot. So for 5 minutes I was ahead of them.
That's what's important.
But that's my dream, y'all, is just beat Steve Harvey. That's I have to do it. Steve, if you're listening, I know you are. I know you're a big listener. This is nothing personal, but it's very personal. And we out here. We're coming for you, Steve. So yeah, I'm gonna toss it over to our new best friend Em. Now that I've spoken my piece, and Steve knows he's on the lookout. His Steve senses are tingling.
Well, I
in his
actually
mustache.
have a giant list that I regularly keep in my phone of goals of like things like I want to learn to play guitar and all this, things that I'll
teach
probably.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that was easy. But like I have all these things that are like kind of smaller goals that are possible if I just put in the effort. But there are 3 that I really want to do, and they're always constants, and they're all doable. They would just take a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of commitment. Okay. So the first one is, and I have plans working towards this. This isn't like just a vague goal. I've done actually years of planning for this. I want to build my own tiny house.
Ooh.
I was not so much in the last. I think the podcast has actually kind of, been my main focus. But up until the podcast since 2011, 2012, I've been heavily involved in the tiny house community. I've gone to a lot of volunteer builds, and we have a lot of like meetups where people say I'm working on a house and I need help building. If you want to come out and learn for your house, come on out. So I've worked on a lot of builds. I have done a lot of planning. I know a couple people that are higher up in the community, like not that like other people would know who they are, but if you're in the tiny house world, these people are important people to know. And so I've made contacts with them. When I graduated grad school, my thesis was on tiny houses. And so
Awesome.
It's something that a lot of people don't know about me on the show, but anyone in my personal life knows that it's an actual goal of mine. And I don't want to buy it. I want to actually learn to build a house. And best case scenario, I love it and I live rent free. Worst case scenario, I realize it's not for me and I can Airbnb it or have a little granny pod for when my mom retires. I mean, who knows? But
Yeah.
Can I say I am so shocked and also sad? Know why?
why?
Because before I gave the idea for bucket list, I thought to myself, I really want to talk about tiny houses because me and Kate had just watched a documentary, and I was like, that's a random thing to ask someone to do, though. And so that's why I'm really sad.
That's amazing. I'm probably, this is like, I know this sounds like I'm like boosting my own ego here, but I can say with confidence that I know so much about tiny houses, all the way down to like zoning laws and shit like that. So like we could have really gotten into that. It's probably for the best we didn't, knowing how we like to tangent. Okay, so that's one.
Wow.
And I luckily am dating someone who's actually open-minded to that, which blows my mind.
That's cool.
That was one of the bigger steps. I was like, it could happen, but I'll have to do it when I'm single because no one will want to do that. And then she's actually open-minded to it. So
Nice.
another thing is I want to take a year, and this probably won't be with the tiny house based on the logistics of traveling a tiny house. Like realistically, I couldn't do this because the tire wear, it would be too expensive. So I would like to buy a camper or an RV or something that's a mobile home, but more mobile than home. And I want to take an entire year and spend 2 weeks in every state and live in every state for 2 weeks. And
That's awesome.
And there are some places that like I know well enough that I can kind of skip them. So like Virginia, I don't really have to go to Virginia. I've been all around Virginia my whole life. So I could take those 2 weeks and go to a bigger area I've never been, like Texas or another part of California. Or, I want to take 2 weeks and just be in every place. Cause I like domestic travel, but I don't really like international travel. It's just something I didn't do a lot. So it's not, I went to, between the two, I probably did more international travel than domestic travel because my mom traveled for work, and so she won a lot of trips, and we would go to all these great places. But I never got to know the rest of the country, and I would love to like go to like the historic landmarks and see all the pretty areas. And so that's the second one. And the third one, which is no surprise to anyone, is I really want to go to Canada. And not just Canada, but specifically, I want to go to a part of Canada that lets me see the Northern Lights, because the Northern Lights has probably been my longest bucket list option. Like I want to go. I honestly actually want to propose to someone under the Northern Lights. That was like my dream for a long time, is to propose under the Northern Lights. But then I told my girlfriend that, so now it's like, well, now I can't go because you're gonna think I'm gonna propose to you. So I ruined that one. But my dream is to at least go and just take as many pictures as I want and no one can judge me. So or like they have an igloo hotel where the entire hotel is like made of ice, and so you can sleep in your hotel that somehow they heat without the ice melting on you. I'm not really sure, but the roof, you can see through the ice and keep looking at the Northern Lights while you sleep. That just sounds like the coolest night I'll ever have.
I want that. I want it right now.
So those are my three constant ones.
Em, we totally should hang out more because for so many different reasons that you don't know. I'm obsessed with Canada as well. And the Northern Lights was one of my locations of something I want to do. So I broke mine down into three things: locations, activities I want to do, and then items
Beat Steve Harvey.
I want to have. But yeah, first we'll start with Steve Harvey. I would like to shave his mustache. No, I'm joking. So I want to be very close to him as I do it. Locations. So Northern Lights, yes. I really want to go to the Caribbean. I don't know why. I just want to see the cool water
It's beautiful.
Cool blue.
It's worth it.
And I would combine these two. Yeah.
Sorry. You go.
No. I was just gonna say with that because I want to hear. It probably would be easiest to just say go on a cruise to see the Caribbean. Like I feel like that combination, mainly because I don't know how else I would go because cruises are far more inexpensive than flying and staying somewhere. But I want to see it because it's so freaking beautiful.
Well, I actually grew up in a cruising family. We went on cruises all the time,
Wow.
and we had a timeshare in the Bahamas. So I went to the Bahamas once or twice a year, every year. I know, I was making fun of you for silver spoons, but here I go.
You broke Chris.
I know. But so I used to go
Boo-hoo.
all the time.
I had 16 light brights just trying to make a freaking a landscape of the Caribbean, hoping that one day I would find.
That's cold.
I'm making the Northern Lights, but just with light brights over here, and you're over here just sitting.
Why do you think
on a
I
palm
want to
tree.
see the Northern Lights? It's like real life light brights. It's like someone broke a bunch of glow sticks and threw them into the sky.
Wow.
So,
Gosh.
For me, I love cruising. That was just what I grew up on. And on my mom's side, I grew up on cruising. On my dad's side, I grew up on camping. So they're two very different things. But in the times where I'm feeling pretty bougie and I want to like really hit it up, I would look into traveling on a cruise. And if you ever need any suggestions, I'll tell. Like I know about cruises, so
Hey, I know nothing except for they're on ships, and sometimes it gets stuck. That's the only things I know.
sometimes they hit icebergs, and sometimes
Yeah.
Leo DiCaprio's on the boat.
Yep. And sometimes he draws me. No, never mind. That's a different podcast. So now let's go into activities.
Okay.
One, similar to tiny house, I want to stay in a treehouse sometime, like one of those really awesome ones that they've made. I just want to.
Shut the hell up. You and I are the same person because here's what's going on. I tried dwindling it down to my top 3. I scratched off living in a treehouse / just staying in a treehouse. And also, my anniversary is coming up soon. And one of the things I thought about doing is taking Allison to, like, they have a treehouse hotel, like an Airbnb. There's like a couple spots. Like it's like a massive tree in the middle of the desert that they just like built a whole
Don't
apartment
you worry.
in.
I am well aware of those. I have looked before, so don't you worry.
So there's one in Joshua Tree that is probably like 2 hours from here.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
amazing. It looked like it was a 5-star hotel in a tree, and I was like, how on earth do I? I can't blindfold her and have her climb up a ladder on a tree.
Yep.
Like I couldn't, but also like they're so cool. They're so expensive. So I was like, I love you, but not that much. wait till our 5-year anniversary.
I know that's a you win the lottery and go stay or something.
1,000%.
So all right, so stay in a treehouse is one. I've shared this multiple times before on the podcast, but I'm passionate about hot tubs. I just love hot tubs. And so specifically, I want to go to a hot spring sometime.
That's fair.
It's nature's hot tub. It's just as simple as that. That's just, I really want to.
It's God's jacuzzi is what it is.
Yeah. And one day I will. Don't you worry. So I want to do that. This is a little bit of a different one. I really want to be able to find, like, I want to see a detailed history of like my family history and also kind of seeing like my DNA and just kind of getting a better idea of, and I know those things are there. I'm not like rolling in the cash right now to pay for it, but that's something I've always been really interested in wanting to do, just to learn a little bit more about where I come from, you know?
I have actually a project that I've always wanted to. It's like always kind of workshopping in my head. I don't want to say it out loud because I think it's such a genius idea that I really am afraid of someone taking it. But when we stop recording, I'll tell you about it. But I will say it's basically I have an idea for basically Ancestry.com, but a video yearbook of sorts.
Ooh.
Where people would record now, and then when they pass on, like it stays within the Ancestry, and you can click on anyone, and it's a video of them
That's
talking
cool.
about their lives in real time. It gets
Wow,
much more specific.
That's awesome.
But that's like trademark, copyright, whatever it takes. No one steal that. But if I could have like one of my bucket list things is actually that it's like to make this little production company where it's like as people, you could either do it from when you're young and, annually do a check-in or, so that way if you wanted, you could like see your grandparent grow up and there's all this video footage of them throughout the years. Or
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
It's something I've always thought of because I want my grandkids to know what I looked like when I was their age and things going on in my life. And
Sure.
I wish I had that on my grandparents. All I have is like my grandparents, one of them is going through some pretty rough dementia.
Yeah.
And she also has probably one of the most interesting stories I've ever heard. Like her whole life is one grand story, but she can't really remember too much. And I wish I had gotten it on tape before her memory had gone.
Yeah.
And I wish that I could tell my kids some of these great things I heard, but nobody knows all the details. So I wish I had gotten it all. So in lieu of that, I would want to start this company where, people can tell their stories before it's too late.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And my last activity, and this is more specific to those out there that also like this sport, but I'm a big fan of soccer, and right now the World Cup's going on. I would just love to go to a World Cup game sometime.
Might get the chance in 2026.
I know, maybe so. But just the fact that it's the same thing as with the Olympics, where it's cool to be able to see people from so many different cultures, so many different backgrounds come together and so passionately just cheer for something that, let's be honest, at the end of the day doesn't matter, but at the same time that's kind of what makes it special. Just like it's a cool thing that everyone can kind of get behind. So just kind of seeing that would be really cool. And finally, this is an item that I really want one day. I just want a screened-in porch. I know it might be basic, it might not. I'm not saying I want a big one. I just want a screened-in porch. Always wanted one.
I want a wraparound porch.
I'd be okay with that too. So
what about a wraparound screened-in porch?
Don't
I would
tempt
want
me,
the
Sadie.
back half to be screened. The front of the house has to look pretty.
Gotcha.
Either way, those are my bucket list things. Pretty simple.
So
nature's hot tub, screened-in porch, nature's house trees, and
Love it.
And soccer.
It comes off very southern. It's like sports, treehouse, hot tub, screened-in porch.
Yep, and shaving Steve Marvey. Steve Harvey.
Steve Martin?
I want to find a man out there named Steve Marvey. I'm going to shave his mustache. It's
Okay,
not going to be
sounds
as
good.
exciting, unfortunately.
That is okay. Well, that's what we got in our bucket. We're gonna. Is that how you say it? That's.
I mean, that's our bucket. That's in our bucket.
You can say that.
Them's
I don't know
the
if that's
things
how
in
you
our
say it.
bucket.
I think if you say it enough, people just believe you.
Okay, yeah, that's a thing that people say, and I've been saying it for years, so
Yep.
I'm glad that I finally was able to say it. We're going to start winding down, though. If you would like to send us a topic for discussion or a mental health check-in, or you have anything else on your mind, we'll remind you again, we're not professionals, but you can send that to us over at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at That's not our Twitter handle. I've done that 2 weeks in a row. You can follow us on Twitter at @isthisunderscoreadulting. Find us on Facebook at either the page or the best friends group.
The page? Sorry.
Well, just the page, the Facebook page.
Go on to the Facebook and find the page.
You're a monster. And hey, you can also help out our show and help Chris continue being a monster to me by subscribing, rating, reviewing on iTunes. That really helps out shows, and that will help us on our never-ending mission, our God-given quest.
We have been
to
ordained.
Take down Steve Harvey.
Will
Not
happen.
take him down. I mean, he seems all right. But we can't, we can't take anybody down. Not this show. Anyway.
Hey, Steve,
we would like
survey says you're going down. And that, my friends,
gosh.
is a good answer. Sorry, how many more family
Good
feud
answer,
references
good answer.
can I go with?
Oh, God. Well, we'd like to thank the collection for the use of our theme music, The Borrowers, off their album Ars Moriendi. Em, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me and asking me a whole lot of weird questions and letting me give you a whole lot of weird answers.
I love it. I love it so much. We didn't even get into the spooky talk. We'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
I got lots of spooky talk, and I want Chris to be there for it because he's terrified of everything.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, well, for sure, then I'll come back on.
Yes. All right. Do you want to remind everybody where they can find you?
Yes, you can find us at And That's Why We Drink. You can find our podcast just about anywhere where your ears want to listen. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. ATWWD podcast is the right word that I was looking for. You can also find us on our website, and that's why we drink.com. We have a merch site, and that's why we drink.bigcartel.com. And we also have a Patreon if you want to donate to that. It's ATWWD podcast. So hope you listen if you don't already.
Yes, for all of you that are here just for the M, I would say, hey, hang out with us for a while. We're all right. Anyway, I don't know. It's late here. I'm being a goof. That's going to do it for us here on Is This Adulting this week. I've been your best friend, Steven.
I've been your best friend, Chris.
And I've been your best friend, Em.
And remember, kids, be happy, stay healthy, and go hug someone.
Because they may have a light bright that they're willing to give you. Yay! I just forgot the first part of that sentence, but
I think you can buy new light brights, but who wants that shit?
I know.
Boo!
Boo. All right, have a good week.
Bye.